Marty, this guy's collection looks more impressive than yours.
I know. This is what you call bottle envy, Justin. It's a thing whiskey
Oh,
collectors get.
that's just display. The table in front of me is probably about 70 bottles on it, and there's another to the side over here, another 60 or 80 bottles on it. Just some of the open stuff.
Yeah, it's always nice to have your
And
collection.
we're talking about some of the other stuff, and we do have a bottle of Burke's in the 1880s sale. So
yeah,
I pulled out my bottle. This
Aye.
1910s.
That's the old stuff. There's the stuff that's a bit older than that again that you're selling at the auction. Joe Hyman, how are you?
I'm doing well, thank you. How you doing?
Now, Joe is with Skinner's Auction House over in Boston, and they're auctioning off what's suspected. I have to say suspected. You'll fill us in a bit better than this, Joe, of being the oldest sealed bottle of whiskey in existence. I'm right there, aren't I, Joe?
Well, partly right.
Okay.
It's the oldest whiskey. The bottle itself is from around the 1860s.
Yeah.
Based on whatever evidence we've been able to uncover, the company Evans and Ragland, who bottled it, was only in existence after the Civil War, which ended in 1865.
Yeah.
So, based on the manufacture of the glass in that time period, we pretty much put the bottle in the 1840 to 1860s. So
Okay.
they didn't really exist before the war, so it would have to be probably between 1865 and 1870.
For the bottle.
Right, for the bottle itself. The whiskey inside it apparently comes from much earlier. And that was the boast of one of the people that gifted it along the lines some 70 plus years ago, that it was from the Morgan collection, and it had predated the Civil War. So, it's a fine story in and of itself, but
it is.
How do you prove
J.P. Morgan?
Like
J.P. Morgan, the multimillionaire billionaire guy?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. And apparently we found evidence that he showed up in there was a famous collection in Baltimore.
Mm-hmm.
And he showed up somewhere around the turn of the century. They were apparently old money, going back to like the 1700s even, which is when this house was built, like in the 1780s or something. Okay. And so they were old money, and by the time he comes along, he's new money, and they basically blew their fortune, and he bought all their whiskey, and the only thing that was left was a few empties of this. According to an article that we found in the Baltimore Sun back 1976.
Yeah.
So we confirmed the Morgan connection. We tried to get the Morgan Library to find some more information about it, but their records were horrible, really. It was just wine, whiskey, scotch, rum, Madeira, but no details about anything. Occasionally, there's a notation that we bought a collection from somebody or something like that. But there's very few details in their records.
Yeah.
So we can't get anything there. I mean, we're trying to get something that the house itself is in the National Historic Site. We're trying to get some of the archival information to try to ascertain, like when it was bottled, if they have any kind of notations or receipts or anything, tags, any kind of information about it. But this is what we got. It was bottled in the 1860s and purportedly pre Civil War whiskey, and so it's a fun story. And,
absolutely.
As we were following it, it does each step we confirm some of these stories that the family is telling about, because they've had the bottle for 60 something years themselves.
Now, it's been carbon dated. The whiskey's
Yeah,
been
so
carbon.
I said, well, there's going to be a lot of people that to think it's hogwash.
Yeah.
So if I can carefully take out a sample and send it for testing, would you let me do it? And he said, sure. I mean, he had no reason to believe that it wasn't real himself. And he's the third generation of this family that's been the caretaker of it